Okay, so tonight we're going to do the do, but we're going to do it a little differently. I am going to start with my eyes and then do my face, which takes me out of my comfort zone completely, but... So first things first, I'm going to use my Amore Pacific Moisture Bound. It's like a little hydrating spray, so just to get... So I'm just going to press that in a little bit, make sure everything is hydrated and ready to roll. And next I'm going to use my Anastasia, the Brow Duality, and I'm just going to use it to prime my eyelid and my brow bone area. I like this because I like there to be, you know, definition between where you put the eyeshadow and where your brow bone is, and this is just a nice subtle way. I'm just going to use this flat brush, and I'm just going to blend it in, and I'm not scared to get it on the rest of my eyelid. It's a nice little base anyway. So I'm going to use my favorite palette, which is still my favorite palette, which is the Tartelette in Bloom. And I'm going to use, hi John. So I'm feeling satisfied with where this is at. And I am going to start with the smoke. That's right. So I have this really random brush. It's Sonia Kashuk. I've had it literally, I don't know, for like 5 years. And I've held on to it because it's like a great little crease brush. I'm going to use Activist, which is like a dark kind of brown. And I'm just going to put it right area. I'm going to bring it up and in a little right here. I don't want, you know, anything crazy, but I definitely want more of an eye tonight because I feel like I really do the natural thing a lot, you know? Times are changing. So this looks like this right now. And of course we gotta blend this bad boy. So I'm taking my Sephora tapered brush again and I'm just working it in the crease. Really, I'm just gonna work it in, but I'm not gonna bring my brush anywhere near my brow bone because I wanna make sure that this really stays concentrated. We have a new babysitter tonight. And that's John in the background getting to know her a little bit. You know, it's always a little nerve-wracking, but we feel good. And this is why I always do my face first, because now I look crazy, but we're gonna press on. So I'm going to use this smaller brush, and I'm using Firecracker, which is like a bronzy, really pretty color. You can see it right there, and you can also see me in that reflection. I'm just gonna apply it really all over the lid. This lid ain't smoky bronze. I don't know what it is. I love the shimmer in this. Now for round two of things I never do. I am going to put a little under here. And to do that, I am going to use Firecracker again, which is that bronzy color. And I'm just going to use this fluffy, pointed-ish, dusting it under. Take this Sephora tapered brush again, and I'm just going to blend a little bit. I have MAC in Plank, the TECKNAKOHL liner. Looks like this. And we're going to put it on the inner part of my... So it's going to go under the lash line. Also going to do just a smudgy layer on top. I'm also going to line below, not in the waterline, but right under it. Now that I've done both eyes, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Not great, I'm going to be honest. And I'm just going to take a little more Smarty Pants mixed with, and this purplish color is called Rebel. Probably can't see it, but I'll list it. And I'm just going to use it to blend a little more. I also definitely want to do the inner corner of my eye, so I'm going to use my Naked Flushed palette, and I'm going to use the highlighter from it because I love. Okay, so I'm just going to put my finger in it, because it's just the easiest. And apply like so. And then do a little bit. It always helps, especially since I'm doing this dark eye, which for me is like, you know, really unheard of. It just always helps to make your eye look a little wider and a little more open. So now I'm going to take this Honest Baby wipe and I'm just going to wipe under my eye. Just removing like any excess makeup that may have fallen before I start the face process. I'm going to bring this face to life, which needs to be done. Also, I did clean up the corners with that baby wipe, which is kind of a neat trick. It's the first time I've ever tried it, so here we go. I'm switching it up tonight, and instead of my fave BECCA shimmer, whatever, True Match LUMI from L'Oreal. So I picked this up just like when I was waiting for a prescription to be filled one day, and so you can use it all over your whole face or to highlight specific areas, but you know what? Since I'm always chasing after that glow, I'm gonna use it all over. So I'm not sure if any of you saw this coming, but I definitely look like the Tin Man. I think I may have put too much on, but we're gonna roll with it. I can't take myself seriously. Okay, so I'm going to use my BECCA Aqua Luminous Skin Perfector. Okay, so I'm just gonna apply, I put the drops in my hand and with my damp beauty blender, I'm just going to apply, and you know, we're probably going to need a few coats of this to make me look like I am A from Earth and B to cover some situations. What I do love about this foundation is it's really buildable, so you can kind of create the coverage you're looking for by how many coats you put on. And I'll say tonight I'm looking for full coverage. You know, it's a Saturday, going out for a girlfriend's birthday. Happy birthday, Jess. See you tonight. You know. Okay, now that I have majority of the foundation on, I think I look like just a glowing, covered. This was a great mistake. And of course I have to do my neck because it's always just pale. Okay, now for my under eye, going back to an old favorite tonight, my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Chantilly. Super light, don't be scared, it's gonna be great. So since I have this makeup on, I'm just gonna do it like such. And then here, a little right here. Always gotta do a little down the nose. Alright, so I'm gonna let that hang out for just a moment. And the BECCA really covered. Looking more tan tonight, I'm gonna use my my Hourglass Vanish Concealer in Sand. And I'm just using this for a couple. Blend that in with my damp beauty blender, and it will just kind of melt right in to the whole look. And now for the forehead. Down the nose. Always the corners. It's just always an issue. Never actually blended under eye concealer with having under eye makeup, so this is another first. And I will say it's more of a challenge, but feeling pretty good about it. So now that I have finished blending that, I'm just going to go in with this kind of softer brush, just right where make sure that I really feather it and work it in. I may need to touch up a little. Alright. Okay, so now I'm going to use my favorite Chanel Le Tient Ultra Tenue. I think that's how you say it. And I'm just going to go over all the areas I put concealer, and I'm going to set them. Using my Morphe M105 brush, and I'm just going to kind of dust it in there. I'm going to set these little spots. I'm going to set the chin because it can get a little shiny. And I'm going to set the under eye. And this is all kind of a new way of doing everything, so really at first I'm going to do just a little in the middle, down the nose, but really I've just done adjusting as opposed to my usual pressing, which I do. Okay, so now I want to do a little contour, and I am going to use my Hourglass foundation for this. So I'm going to use my Sephora contour brush, which I love. Dip it, get the excess off, start with my forehead, do my cheekbones, and I'm just doing like a swirling motion, and then up to blend. Alright. I'm just doing the perimeter to keep that light in the middle where I already put some highlighter. Okay? Just to bring everything together, just do a little under here. I do not have a defined chin, generally speaking, and I've always wanted one, and it does. And of course, the nose. Just a little. So now I'm going to do a blush situation, and I just want to do like a really soft pink, nothing crazy. I'm going to use my MAC, just a Wisp, Morphe M462 brush, and I'm just going to do the apples and a little on the cheekbone. Do a little on my nose and a little right there. My wet eyebrow brush, my best friend. And I'm just going to brush out my brows, get all the excess makeup off. And I mean, brushing your brows really is everything. Makes the biggest difference, especially for these long brows. Okay, so now I'm going to use a little bronzer to bring everything together. I'm going to use my Bobbi Brown Golden Light. I've had this forever. And I'm just going to do a really light dusting. I'm going to do the neck. Because my face is looking a little tan, my body's looking a little not tan. Now I'm going to use my, where is it? Found it, Glossier Boy Brow. Love it. I'm just going to use a touch because my brows can get a little crazy and I already have a dark eye going on. I don't want to go overboard. Than anything else, this is like a pomade for your brows to keep, you know, them in place if they're unruly. And it just like fills in a little bit, and it's kind of the perfect color. And you're getting a great close-up of that eyeshadow. So I'm going to do a little curl action on my lashes, and tonight we are going to use a new mascara. I picked it up today at Sephora. I didn't even read any reviews on it, and I normally read reviews on makeup. All makeup I buy. I love reviews. But I just did it. So it's YSL Beige. And I think it's going to be amazing. So here we go. First impressions. The brush is a little smaller than I thought it was going to be. But let's see what it does for these. Phone died, now we're back. So finished the mascara. The verdict is in. I really, really like it. My lashes, pretty full, pretty dark. Just what I'm going to use my favorite lip liner, Whirl, MAC. And it's just a really subtle mauve pink. I'm using my favorite Hourglass. I think it's Fable. Close. And I think that about does it. I did just like a little curl, soft curl in my hair earlier. And I think I'm ready to go. And I actually think my makeup looks better doing the eyes before doing the face. So maybe this is my new method, maybe not. But here we are.